I'm Felicia,
And I'm Ian.
and we are the Paranormal Lovers.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of the Paranormal Lovers. Hey guys,
Hi, guys. Thank you for joining us for another week.
how yous doing?
How you doing? Let's see. What'd you love about this week, babe? Anything?
This week, me and Patty went hiking yesterday, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I went up to one of my favorite spots. You have to hike across a waterfall to get to a waterfall. So it was pretty cool. We went up there, and I couldn't help shake the last couple of episodes whenever we were going up there, because as soon as we got out of the car and started heading up the trail, Patty was like, "I smell something weird." I'm like, "Oh no." I was like, "What do you smell?" And she was like, "Oh, what did she say?" She said it smelled like crap. I can't remember now, but it was a bad smell. And I'm like, "Nope, nope, just keep moving, keep on going." But we did find a couple of piles of bear poop.
Yeah, she
and
stepped in one.
Patty stepped in one.
Stepped in some bear scat. She also claims that there was a helmet up there that had quote unquote red stuff in it.
Yeah.
She's like, "Mama, we found a helmet and there was blood in it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Did you look at it?" So I asked Ian, I was like, "Did you look at it?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, I was just trying to keep her falling off that waterfall.
This is true. This is true. Although I'm sure like we probably have true crime fans that listen to us too. And I'm a huge true crime fan. So I would have been like, "Let me go look at this. Let me go check this out."
Right.
But
we weren't exactly in a spot where we could walk around and look.
Yeah.
Because it was a pretty sketchy spot that we were in.
But I like to hike, but I prefer flat land. And my knees nowadays don't do well with the uneven ground.
Yeah, you wouldn't have liked this one.
No, no. Plus, I can't do heights. So when there's like a cliff, and I'm like, I'm gonna die.
See, I know some flat trails that we can go on to.
We should.
The Road to Nowhere one's a really good one.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. It's got some inclines on it, but it's not terrible.
It's not bad though.
It's just spooky.
It goes 4 miles out through there.
Mm-hmm. It's a very long trail.
Well,
not a very long trail.
If you ever want to walk with us, we can go out that way.
We've been out there before.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It is.
You can see like the lake and stuff from the trail.
And go through the tunnel.
Which is spooky.
Yeah, it's so dark in the middle of it. Like you get in the middle and you can't barely see your hand.
Yeah, we take lanterns and headlamps to walk through there because it is creepy.
It is.
And we go like during the daytime on a weekend when it's like heavily populated. So
there's this weird thing where like one person can stand at one end and like whisper, and you can hear the person at the teetotal other end of it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty, I don't know, creepy, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know either. There's some really cool art in that tunnel too.
Yep.
Like there's some really stupid art, like people like putting like Hail Satan and stuff on the wall. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
But there's some really pretty art in there.
Mm-hmm. What did you love about this week, baby?
Well, I don't know if I'd say I love it, but I am proud of myself because it was my first week managing.
I'm proud of you too.
Friday was my first day running the whole shift by myself, and I didn't have to call the managers at all.
You seem like you're doing well with it too.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be talking to people and stuff again, even though like on one hand I kind of hate it, and I had a really terrible phone call this week.
Yeah, that one was pretty shitty.
Yeah, somebody had called to place an order, and it was like teenagers, and all I could hear in the background was this teenager that kept yelling the N-word over and over and over again. And I'm like, I know you can't see me, but like that's not cool.
No, not at all.
That's really not cool.
Don't be racist, people.
Yeah, don't be racist. Don't be stupid.
It's 2023.
Don't be ignorant. If you have friends that are like that, either stand up to them or don't be friends with them because
Tell them to stop.
You look ignorant as well.
Yep.
So that kind of fucked with my head a little bit, but I have like the full support and backing of my managers at the store. And they're like, if
Yeah,
you ever get a call like that again, just hang up on them.
for sure.
I'm like, bet. No, I won't because I
And
don't want
you,
to put up
you
with it again.
don't have to serve racist people.
No, we don't. But it was a good week. We've got a good crew now that we got rid of the crazy one.
Yeah.
He was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. This week we are doing episode 46.
Whew.
And yeah, and considering it's still November and Native American Heritage or History Month, um, I've been wanting to do the little people for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, and for people that want to be stupid, I'm not talking about
I am a little people.
I'm not talking about people with dwarfism.
Right.
I'm talking about legends of indigenous little people.
Sure.
So many cultures have lore about little people, fairies, goblins, and gnomes, my favorite, to name a few. They are typically small human like creatures with magical powers. But to the indigenous people of the Americas, the little people are so much more than legend. Known to the Cherokee as Yunwi Tsunsti, James Mooney states in his book Myths of the Cherokee that they are, quote, hardly reaching up to a man's knee, but well shaped and handsome, with long hair falling almost to the ground, end quote.
So like little gnomes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They are said to mostly be helpful to those who treat them with respect. However, they prefer to be left alone, especially near their homes. It is said that it is bad luck to talk about them.
Oh no.
Oops.
Oh no.
Oops. And
Where's the smudge?
I know, right? I need to go get us like a dragon's blood incense to have burning in here. I don't know. I don't think they'll have a problem with it because we're respectful people.
Sure.
So
Sure.
we're not like making fun of them and stuff, you
Right.
know.
We're just telling about them.
We're just talking about them, and I think they'll be like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Right.
This is evident with alleged stories of hikers who got lost in the woods. Once they would get back out, they would talk about the little creatures that helped them find their way home.
Hmm.
Unfortunately for them, they allegedly died soon after,
Oh
unexpectedly.
no.
Yeah. They're like, don't talk about us, asshole.
More creepy stories from the woods.
Yeah, I
for me
know.
to
I was
think
like,
about.
you're going to love this. Especially because this is like the Cherokee Little People, and a
Sure.
lot of this is from the Eastern Men of the Cherokee Indians, which, you know,
Mhm.
right down the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Some people would build their homes near the home of the little people, although they didn't actually like try to find them. Instead, they would leave out offerings of food and make sure to leave any paths of the little people unobstructed.
See, I should have brought some candy with me.
Mm-hmm.
Left them little UFOs.
Right. They'd have been like, what the hell is this?
They go crazy over the sherbet.
Next time, take them like a banana or apple. I don't know if they really want candy.
Right.
They're natural people, so
I mean, they might like some Skittles.
they might want to taste the rainbow. They might. They might. If the little people are pleased with the offerings, they would most likely do chores for the people. This includes plowing fields and harvesting crops.
Hmm.
And it said that in one of the resources that, like, or one of the sources that people would hear them outside working, but they knew better than to get up and look
Right.
because they don't want to be looked at. They don't want to be messed with. They want to be left alone.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. They may become attached to a person or a place. This is how it goes with one story of an elderly medicine woman. She claimed the little people would come to her home in the night for food. Unfortunately, there was a water line laid across the path that they used to get to her home, and they soon quit showing up.
Hmm.
Which, I mean, they're tiny, so don't obstruct their way. They don't want to crawl over shit.
Right.
Legend has it that the little people traveled with the Cherokee on the Trail of Tears. They acted as protectors and companions during this tragic time. They are also said to tend the flames of everlasting fire that the Cherokee were gifted before their harrowing journey, and they still tend to the flames today. Some legends have the little people being actual small creatures, while others believe that they are simply spirits of the forest, caves, and plains. Many of them are said to live in caves within the mountains. They love music and spend much time drumming, singing, and dancing. Sometimes their music can be heard in the lonely places in the mountains. If a traveler happens to come across them, it is said that they will put a spell on them, leaving the person dazed and confused. All right, all right, all right. If someone would find a knife or a trinket, they would say, quote, "Little people, I would like to take this," end quote. This is because the object could belong to the little people, and if not asked to take it with respect, they will throw rocks at the person until they leave.
Hmm.
Which I don't really blame them. Don't be taking people's shit without asking. It's called stealing.
Yeah, I kept hearing things falling yesterday while I was trying to mine.
I'm just saying. These little people come in many different shades, from black to white and golden, like the Cherokee people themselves. They can speak the Cherokee language, but it is said that they also have a language of their own. Little people are said to be here to teach us a lesson. Well, several lessons depending on which one you come across. There are three types of little people one may run across: the Laurel people, the Rock people, and the Dogwood people.
Hmm.
The Rock people, most people would consider them to be the meanest because they can hold a grudge and will seek vengeance through stealing children and other things, but only when
Oh crap.
their space is invaded.
Hmm.
The lesson they are here to teach us is that what you do to others will come back to you. Respect people's limitations and boundaries.
Sure.
I feel like I could be one of the Rock people
Right.
because I'm like, I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with me. I'll fuck you up. I said no. No means no. The Laurel people are tricksters who like to have fun. When a child is laughing in their sleep, it is said that the Laurel people are sharing their joy with them. They teach us to not be so serious all the time and to find joy wherever you can and share that joy with others.
I could learn from those guys.
Right? I need to learn from those guys.
Yeah.
I feel more kin with the Rock people, but the Laurel people are the people I need because I don't find joy in much nowadays, other than this podcast and
Sure.
you and Patty. But that's about it.
Right.
The Dogwood people are the kind caretakers. They teach us that about kindness and that when you do something for others, you should do so selflessly and without expecting anything in return.
So that's probably more my type of guys.
Yeah, you're a very selfless person. You're always doing stuff for other people without ever expecting anything in return,
Yeah.
which is how it should be.
Sure.
I mean, it's a little complicated because people are complicated, but
It is.
so I found this cool little story of the little people from legendsoftheNativeAmerican.com. Quote, "There are a lot of stories and legends about the little people. You can see the people out in the forest. They can talk and they look a lot like Indian people, except they're only about 2 feet high. Excuse me. Sometimes they're smaller. Now, the little people can be very helpful and they can also play tricks on us too. And one time there was a boy. This boy never wanted to grow up. In fact, he told everyone that so much that they called him, quote unquote, Forever Boy, because he never wanted to be grown. When his friends would sit around and talk about, oh, when I get to be a man and when I get grown, I'm going to be this and I'm going to go here and be this, he'd just go off and play by himself. He didn't even want to hear it because he never wanted to grow up. Finally, his father got real tired of this and he said, Forever Boy, I will never call you that again. From now on, you are going to learn to be a man. You're going to take responsibility for yourself and you're going to stop playing all day long. You have to learn these things. Starting tomorrow, you're going to your uncle's and he's going to teach you everything that you are going to need to know." Forever Boy was broken-hearted at what his father told him, but he could not stand the thought of growing up. He went out to the river and cried. He cried so hard that he didn't see his animal friends gather around him, and they were trying to tell him something, and they were trying to make him feel better. And finally, he thought he understood them say, "Come here tomorrow, come here early." Well, he thought they just wanted to say goodbye to him, and he drug his feet going home. He couldn't even sleep, he was so upset. The next morning, he went out early as promised to meet his friends. And he was so sad he could not bear the thought of telling them goodbye forever. Finally, he began to get the sense that they were trying to tell him something else, and that is to look behind him. As he looked behind him, there they were, all the little people, and they were smiling at him and laughing and running to hug him. And they said, "Forever, boy, you do not have to grow up. You can stay with us forever. You can come and be one of us, and you will never have to grow up. We will ask the Creator to send a vision to your parents and let them know that you are safe and you are doing what you need to do." Forever Boy thought about it for a long time, but that is what he decided he needed to do, and he went with the little people. And even today, when you are out in the woods and you look and it is not what you really thought it was, or if you're fishing and you feel something on the end of your line and you think it is the biggest trout ever, and you pull it in and all it is a stick that got tangled on your hooks, that is what the little people are doing. They are playing tricks on you so you will laugh and keep young in your heart, because that is the spirit of the little people and Forever Boy, to keep us young at heart.
Hmm.
End quote.
That's a cool story.
So cute. It kind of gives me like Peter Pan vibes, but like Peter Pan's based off of a totally different legend that's
Right.
not cool.
Right.
But I was like, well, that's real sweet. He was like, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to be a man.
I don't want to grow up.
I'm
a
a Toys R Us
kid.
I'm a little people kid. Yeah. So they took him with him and he got to be young forever at heart. And it kind of made me smile when I was like typing that up. Well, when I was writing it down, typing it up, because I was like, how many times have we went fishing and shit gets stuck on our lines?
Yeah.
And so now when we go fishing, I'm gonna be like, little people, can y'all send me a fish? This is fun, but I'd like to catch a fish.
It's something to make you smile.
Yeah, something to make you smile, make you chuckle.
Even though like you didn't catch anything, like still be like, oh, it's the little people.
Yeah, kind of give you a little different feeling on it now when you go out fishing and stuff.
Sure.
Now, my personal favorite of all the little people legends is one that I covered back in episode 26.
Mm-hmm.
The Pukwudgies.
Right.
The Pukwudgies are small troll-like gray-skinned creatures who were originally from Massachusetts. They were very close with the tribe of the area, the Wampanoag, until the tribes began worshiping the god Moshup. This led them to jealousy and turned them against the tribe. Moshup had enough and exiled them across the country. Like with most legends, different tribes see them differently. The Ojibwe see them as fairly harmless little people who like to pull pranks on people and have fun, while the Wampanoag see them as kind, but they can be dangerous if cross. And there are other tribes that believe everything in between about them. Their name means people of the forest who vanish and are seen as spirits of the forest. Their powers vary from tribe to tribe, including turning invisible, shape-shifting into dangerous animals such as a mountain lion, and the ability to call forth fire. The most common form they take is that of a creature that has porcupine quills in the back and is half human, half troll from the front. Which, like, creepy.
That is pretty creepy.
And I didn't actually write this in here, but J.K. Rowling, listen, I know people have problems with her. She's a TERF. I get it. I don't like her, but I like Harry Potter.
Sure.
Can't help that. Harry Potter it's great.
Yeah,
it's
just I like great. Harry Potter too.
I can separate the person from their work.
Right.
But she actually wrote one of the houses in Harry Potter is Pukwudgie. And the Pukwudgies take care of the house.
Right.
Which is real interesting. So most people had never heard of Pukwudgies until Harry Potter.
Was Dobby one of them?
No.
No,
he was just a house elf.
Oh, okay.
But still, because I'm pretty sure I remember. I don't know if they actually show Pukwudgies in the movies, but I feel like maybe they do.
Right.
It's been a minute.
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
The last time I watched it was when Patty was like 2 or 3, and we stopped at movie number 3 because then it gets dark.
Right.
So it is best to leave this subset of little people alone, especially in New England. It seems they still hold a grudge about how they were treated by Moshup and the Wampanoag. They will attack some people simply for staring at them. It is thought that they also steal children, again, from people that have crossed them, and they are known to shoot arrows, possibly flaming arrows, at people.
Hmm.
Yeah, just don't fuck with the Pukwudgies, okay? If you see one come out and he says, Kier, Kier, he wants you, go the other
Leave
direction.
him alone.
Just go the other direction.
Sounds a lot like the pixies that Erwin Saunders was after.
Yeah, it does. I'm sure those are little people too.
I'm sure they are.
Um, just, English.
Yeah.
English little people.
Yep. Which
It,
is interesting, like
yeah,
all the way across the ocean.
yeah.
They
Well, I
have
mean,
like the same stories.
every culture has lore and legends about fairies and goblins and trolls and stuff.
Sure, sure.
It is said that these creatures do not belong in the annals of the past. People have reported seeing troll like creatures in the woods of the Bridgewater Triangle, as well as being led deep into the woods by glowing orbs. It has also been reported that people who have come upon the cliff named the Ledge.
I want to go to the ledge.
Hey, so this is my problem. It's literally called the Ledge, and that does not invoke warm feelings in my heart. Okay, it sounds terrifying.
Right.
I would get vertigo the minute I got there.
Yeah.
But people have reported having the overwhelming urge to jump to their deaths.
Maybe I don't want to go there.
I'm just saying, maybe not, because I'd be real upset. Now, it could be the influence of the Pukwudgies causing these things. It is also said that they can possess the spirit of long dead ancestors, which I don't really know how I feel about that. But it should also be noted that the Bridgewater Triangle is a place of pain and suffering that has been the home of much paranormal activity for decades, if not centuries.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a portal there
Yeah, I mean
or a vortex of some kind.
the battles that went on between the colonizers and the Wampanoag tribe, and I think maybe another tribe was involved too, but the battles that went on there were some of the worst in the
Gruesome, huh?
history of colonization in this country. Like it
Right.
was really, really gruesome. A lot of people died. And I mean, it was bad on both sides
Yeah.
because one would do something to them and then they would go back and retaliate against them. And it was just
Sure.
a lot of blood was spilled in that land. A lot. And I do think that places that have a lot of pain like that attached to them, a lot of tragedy, something opens there that causes paranormal activity. But Pukwudgies have been seen as a problem so much that the town of Freetown, Massachusetts, at one time had to put up signs warning people about them.
That's awesome.
And I didn't look and see what they said, but I can imagine, like, if you see a little gray troll, run, run,
Right.
go the other direction. Don't try and shoot it. Run.
Yeah.
Because you know how everybody wants to shoot shit they don't understand around here.
Sure.
Other tribes that have legends of the little people include the Plains tribes, who have tales of battles with pygmy tribes. The Cheyenne call them quote unquote knee high demons. Some tribes have legends of them eating human flesh, such as the Shoshone, who call them Nimmergar, meaning people eater, and the Arapaho, who call them quote unquote tiny people eaters. So they're not all nice.
No.
Now, one photo has made its way into the Oklahoma Today in 1976 that allegedly showed a little person. Howard Meredith wrote the article after he received a letter from the Daily Ardmorite columnist Mac McGillard. Mac had been shown the photo by Buster Ned, a Choctaw man who was a chairman of the Choctaw Chickasaw Heritage Preservation Committee. The photo showed the man named Uncle Billy Washington, a Choctaw medicine man, standing beside a small creature. The Choctaw tribe believed that medicine people are aided by leprechaun-like creatures called this is such a word. Kalnak Uashas. Kalnak Uashas. Only the medicine people could see them. To everyone else, they just looked like a glowing light. Uncle Billy had been convinced by his family to go have the picture taken since there were no pictures of him at all. The photographer had him pose standing beside a small table. When the photo was developed, the little person showed up standing on the small table beside Uncle Billy. This is not the only notable evidence of the little people. A few bodies have been found in caves across North America, most notably the Pedro Mountain mummy. In the early 1930s, a small mummified body was found in a cave in the Pedro Mountains. It was found seated on the ledge of a cave. I'm so sorry, y'all. That iron makes me gassy.
Gassy.
At least I don't have bacon burps, which is funny because I had bacon for breakfast, but okay.
Right.
And sat only about 6.5 inches, putting it at roughly 18 inches tall standing up. It had long white hair and a full set of teeth and adult body hair. The body was sent to different museums to be researched. Hair samples taken showed that it was human in nature, and x-rays showed it had a full skeletal system. Many researchers believe the body to be that of a anencephalic anomaly, or an infant that was born without the top of its skull. This does account for the small head and large eye sockets, but it does not explain the full set of teeth or the body hair.
Right.
Sadly, after traveling around to different people to be used for money, the body disappeared in 1975 and its whereabouts are unknown to this day.
Wow.
And that, my friends, is a little snippet of some legends and lore about little people. How you gonna feel about going hiking now, Bill?
I mean, I'm gonna take some candy with me next time.
All right,
For
take you
sure.
some candy. Maybe take you some fruit too, because they may not all want candy. So,
It's true.
They're a little more.
Maybe some tobacco, like Indigenous Tales keeps saying.
You have to go get you some tobacco though, and not just
Yeah.
like cigarettes from the store.
I
Because
know,
cigarettes
right?
from the store got all those chemicals in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next time we see a tobacco farm, you can just like hop out real quick and grab you a couple leaves and
Yeah.
hop back in the car, and we'll take off.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, don't steal from the farmers. They'll shoot you.
No.
Be like, you stealing my biker? Yes, sir. I gotta go.
Get some rock salt in my butt.
Hell, hey, rock salt's better than turkey shot.
This is true.
Like, I'll take that rock salt. So, how you think about the little people, Bill?
I think it's cool. I like it. I
Yeah.
mean, there's been many times that I've walked across, like, in the woods somewhere and seen, a circle of mushrooms or just little places and like
Little places that you just kind of look at and go, huh.
you're like, I bet something lives here.
There's one place over in Canton when I was delivering pizzas before that it's like up on the side of the mountain, and I hated driving up it because the road was terrible. But like you get into it, and like it feels like a fairy realm.
Yeah.
Like it feels so just like it feels like a complete another world.
Yeah.
And I remember like I went up there and I was like, okay. So I went up there and I delivered the pizzas, and I was coming back down, and I stopped in the middle of the road, and I like threw some change out the window, and then I threw like some weed out the window, and I was like, blessings. Just like went back to the store.
Right.
Like
Well,
I was like,
like the place yesterday, like we went into it and there's a rock wall on one side, a rock wall on the other side with a river running through it. And there's just like these little areas where, I mean, humans have been there, but it also just feels a little like, I don't know, somewhere where a bear might live or.
Which, I mean, hello, bear scat.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I mean, there has been a bear up there, but also could be little people too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're not that far from Cherokee, and I doubt that they keep themselves confined to Swain County.
Sure.
So they're probably just all over the place. And I mean, honestly, like
there's miles of wilderness out here. So
yeah, like people want to talk about how the world's overpopulated. The world's not overpopulated. There's too many people living in cities.
Yeah.
But there's enough land for everybody to have like an acre of land on this planet. If we were smart about it. So that leaves a lot of open land
Yeah.
for animals and mythological creatures and legends to live.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about human interaction.
Yeah.
Except for you weird people that enjoy going hiking and spending time out in nature that is not a beach.
I love it.
Yeah, you and Patty love it. I used to love it, but the older I get, the more the beach.
Right.
The beach. Like my heart belongs at the beach. It belongs down on the coast in the Gullah Geechee corridor.
Yeah.
Like the beach. I wonder if the Gullah have legends of little people.
Maybe.
I'll have to look that up.
You'll have to look at some Gullah legends.
I heard one the other day.
Did you?
Carrie Mulligan is hosting a podcast called I Hear Fear. They just came out with like 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of those, they talked about the boo hag. And I'm going to cover that
Nice.
at some point because that's a Gullah legend. And I was like, oh shit.
That's cool.
I want to cover the boo hag.
Right.
Even though the bitch is scary. But
yeah.
Sure, why not? All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
If you would like, head on over to Instagram and tell us what you thought about this episode. You can head on over to YouTube and watch this on video if you would like by searching at the Paranormal Lovers in the search bar. If you've seen any little people, if you've heard anything weird out in the woods, send us an email at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com and head on over and check out our website. You can also send us a message through the contact page on that as well. That is theparanormallovers.com.
Send us some stories, guys.
Yeah, send us
listen.
stories. Spooky stories. And I know that we've gotten a few more followers and stuff on Instagram, and there's some people that do some spooky stuff on there. So if you guys are listening, shoot us a message. Tell us some stuff. We'd love to give you guys a shout out on the podcast with your stories as well.
We've got a couple of them sending us some stories and messages and videos.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. All right, guys.
So thank you guys for doing that. We love them.
Thank you guys for joining us. And next week will be the last episode for an Indigenous. Well, it won't be the last episode of an Indigenous tale, but it'll be the last episode of November's.
I think I might have one like after November, but
yeah,
you guys, I'm gonna do one for the Indigenous month. So
yeah, so yeah, we'll have 2 more.
Yeah.
Indigenous tales for Native American Heritage History Month.
Yeah.
And
thank you, Indigenous Tales, for bringing light to us.
Yeah, we appreciate the shout outs from those guys. I feel like those are like our podcast BFFs over there in California.
I've been listening to like almost every day now. So
yeah, literally, you guys should be so happy. The first podcast I get my husband to listen to. Well, he's listened to podcasts with me in the car, but he's not a huge true crime fan. So he just sits there like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more of a paranormal podcast guy. But
that's just the way it is. I don't know what it is, but it seems like women are more into true crime. Men are more into paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.